Alrighty, what is going on, guys? My name is SkinnyBoneJones, and I'm going to try bringing something back. I'm going to bring back the Raw previews. This is my WWE Monday Night Raw preview for August 3rd, 2015. Now, normally, the return of Brock Lesnar brings thoughts like, well, at least one segment will be good. But last week's Brock Free affair produced a much more all-around balanced show. So, how will Raw in San Jose, California fare with the Beast Incarnate and his advocate, but minus John Cena? Let's dig into the big angles and try to figure that out. So, no shoulds or coulds. Tonight, we'll continue saying goodbye to Roddy Piper. Vince McMahon will be there for a 10-bell salute. Bagpipes will probably play and will be treated to many of the numerous memories the Rowdy One entertained us with throughout his unforgettable career. It's also a less permanent farewell to former Divas champion Layla. Her retirement was big news for a hot minute last week and will probably get a mention tonight, perhaps with a backstage scene, but this show is for Hot Rod, and for that old showbiz truism, the show must go on. So, moving on, at Battleground, The Undertaker returned to prevent Lesnar from winning the WWE title. The following night, the Dead Man opened the show by explaining he was okay with having his WrestleMania streak broken, but he wasn't okay with Paul Heyman talking about it for more than a year. After the Authority booked Taker vs. Lesnar as the main event of SummerSlam, Heyman came to the ring to hype the matchup, but was interrupted and menaced by the Phenom. Brock came to his rescue, and almost the entire roster and some local police later, their brawl ended with both men's hands zip-tied together. Now here's what they should do tonight. With only 2/3 of the feud in the house, Undertaker's not booked for the show, the company's preview is playing up Lesnar's quote-unquote sending a message. Will that message be much more than the Heyman promo we were calling for last week in this space? It doesn't need to be, but it's always fun to watch Brock smash. Having been down the inanimate object road recently with J&J Security's caddy, and given that the Beast Incarnate is a face still, maybe it's a good time for the New Day to try to bring some positivity and continuity by cutting in on Paul's promo. Now, what I think they're probably going to do is they're going to punish Hogan and further muddy Brock's alignment by having him beat up Curtis Axel and provide an injury write-off for the Meta Powers. If you get the whole punish Hogan thing. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Ever since John Cena finished his pursuit of the U.S. title, Kevin Owens keeps finding himself in Cesaro's path. After a couple of run-ins ended with Owens' pop-up powerbomb, Owens explained to Michael Cole that he's protecting his spotlight by mucking up the works for the Swiss Superman's latest attempt to grab the brass ring. The King of Swing got the last word for the week, however, when he pinned the former NXT champ in SmackDown's big tag team main event. Now, what they should do regarding this storyline, by all means, continue. While this program is guaranteed to have so-called smarks drooling at the matches and worried to death about the next storyline for the loser, it would be nice to convey a sense of purpose to the casual fan. Perhaps somewhere along the line, a title shot could be placed on the line. Not a Money in the Bank type deal, but a shot at one of the belts on a specified date. Night of Champions is coming up in September. Now, what WWE is probably going to do, and what I'm afraid they'll do, is probably give the winner a title shot, since there's a decent chance Cena will be holding half the titles WWE awards to men by then, and we've seen what pay-per-view feuds with the face that runs the place can do for an indie darling on the rise. Moving on, tag champs Darren Young and Titus O'Neil are getting more time at commentary and on the public relations circuit than they are in the ring. Why? That's because no one really knows who their next challengers will be. Big E, Kofi, and Xavier keep stalking them, but have failed in numerous attempts on numerous occasions to regain the tag team titles. The Lucha Dragons and Los Matadors battled each other on Raw and joined forces on Thursday Night SmackDown to defeat the New Day in the Ascension. After the bout, the two teams went right back to bickering over this exact question. Now, what should WWE do tonight? One thing creative is good with doing among the pairs is quickly elevating contenders. PTP were basically a joke right up until they weren't, and they were champs within a few weeks of a valiant effort at Elimination Chamber. Sin Cara and Kalisto, the Lucha Dragons, probably have more long-term potential, but Diego Fernando and El Torito have been hustling through a variety of characters and gimmicks and deserve the same kind of attaboy rub that Darren and Titus got. In Los Matadores' case, it probably won't include a title win, but a clear-cut heel turn and devious win over the fan-friendly Lucha Dragons would probably be a quick shot to the top. Plus, an evil, high-flying Tiny Bull is a license to print money. Now, what I'm afraid they're going to do, 6 words. Connor and Victor, #1 contenders. So some other stuff to keep an eye on tonight. Our WWE World Championship picture is in limbo since Seth Rollins busted Cena's nose last Monday night. While we wait for word of whether the US champ will be able to go in Brooklyn for SummerSlam on August 23rd, the Architect can generate some real heat by claiming responsibility for John's first prolonged absence in quite some time. Roman Reigns went missing from TV last week, but he was back on the house show circuit this weekend, so business should pick back up in his program with Bray Wyatt. Luke Harper's back with Bray, so look for Dean Ambrose to circle back from miscellaneous duty to get his brethren's back. Mr. Money in the Bank is still Sheamus. Randy Orton doesn't like him. Now, recently I've heard the words last man standing said a lot as it pertains to this feud on Thursday. The formula for the Divas Revolution appears to be that we'll get one tag match and one singles match tonight as they try to determine whether they'll do a triple threat for Nikki Bella's title or a big interfaction tag team match at SummerSlam. Side note, I really like the NXT Divas. Things are proceeding exactly according to Stardust's evil plans for Neville. If an emerald-clad superhero from the CW and Starling City is going to join the party, he should do so soon. It's the first Raw of August, 3 more shows until SummerSlam. What do you think WWE should do, or are afraid they will do, on Raw tonight? Of course, leave a like down below if you enjoyed. If you're excited for Monday Night Raw on the road to SummerSlam, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And with that, I am SkinnyBoneJones, signing out.